You have to stop listening to LARPers. And by LARPers, I really mean losers. Now, before I trigger some of y'all, let me give you some of my background. I remember when I was a small boy and I walked in the rain to a Quick Trip, if y'all know what that is, depending on where you live, to get my first pack of that Blue Eyes White Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I played Sylvans. I played Burning Abyss all the way till my sophomore year in college. I remember when I woke up on Christmas morning and my mom got me Pokemon Ruby for my Game Boy Color because she didn't know that I needed a Game Boy Advance in order to play it. And I had to sit there and wait for 2 months because we did not have the money for her to save up for the money to go and get me the Game Boy Advance so I could play the game. So I had to sit there and watch it. I have seen over 20, 30, probably over 100 anime at this point because when I was a small boy and my older brothers introduced me to Pokemon when I was like 3 or 4 or 5 or whenever it came to America, my mom saw that I loved it. So she would go to Hobby Lobby or Big Lots and she would find just whatever tapes or DVDs or cassettes at the time that looked like anime and she would just bring them home for me to watch. All right, my mother would get up with me every Saturday morning to watch Yu-Gi-Oh with me. You feel me? So when I say you need to stop listening to LARPers, you need to stop listening to losers, this comes from somebody that has lived in this environment of gaming, anime, social pariah, non-social skill. I've been friends with people in these groups. I used to get up every morning in high school, and go duel in the library in the morning before school, bringing my DS, my 3DS to school to play Pokemon X and Y when they first dropped during lunch period. All right. So understand when I say losers, I'm not talking about somebody that's interested in nerdy things or gaming or is a little bit socially awkward or all. I've been all of those things throughout my life. I define a loser as someone that lacks nor wants to gain the ability of self-awareness. A loser is someone that lacks empathy. A loser is someone that cannot take accountability. A loser is someone that does not want to improve, that bathes in negativity. A loser is someone who revels in hate. And I'm sure y'all have seen a lot of people online that fit that description. So that is who I'm talking about. The reason why I'm all talking about this and prefacing all this is because I've never played the God of War games. I remember when I was young and the first God of War was out and I stayed the night at my friend Darren George's house. He's my quarterback in Little League football. I stayed at his house and he had one of the God of War games. So I got to play it a little bit, but other than that, I never really got to play the God of War games, but I just learned the story through like, people telling you about it and seeing videos online or whatever. Haven't played the new God of War games, but I kind of know the story and the themes based off what I played as a kid, based off what I know about the character, and based on what I've seen online. So when I see the amount of vitriol and hate that God of War Lao Fei is getting online for no reason other than that is a woman playing the main role in this God of War game, I'm just, honestly, I'm literally disgusted. I'm like, bleh! Like it's so revolting. It's so jarring. Do you guys not have women in your lives? Do you not have girlfriends? Do you not have sisters? Do you not have wives, moms, aunts, cousins, anything? I hear things on the internet like, well, a man's mind and a woman's mind is just different. So I don't want to play as a woman because it's just a different mindset. What do you have in common with Kratos, the God of War? What mindset do you share with him? A lot of people I see talking about this online are dusty, look unkept, look like they don't wash themselves, look like they don't exercise, look like they've never even spoke to a woman, let alone have one in their life on a consistent basis from a romantic standpoint. But they talking about, this is not my God of War. Because I watched the trailer. The trailer was dope. I was excited. It made me want to go play the other games. Cause I'm like, whoa, if it's coming like this, I got to go play the other game so I could be ready to play this game. I thought it was fantastic. The storytelling, getting to see gods from other pantheons. But y'all don't want to play because it's a woman. And even that's fake. Because I see y'all, the new Stellar Blade, Bayonetta. Why are they taking my favorite outfit out of this game that was objectifying the women in this game? I just like the way it looked. It doesn't matter. It sounds ridiculous. If you're repeating this rhetoric that you're hearing from these losers online, you sound ridiculous. And because of this, I actually had to go spoil myself so I can make a convincing argument to why you sound ridiculous. First up, I'm hearing that you can't put yourself in the mindset of a woman, but Kratos, a lot of his ideology at this point in his story is due to Lao Fei. When he says to Thor, we must be better. Who did he get that from? Lao Fei. When he becomes softer in the way that he talks to Atreus, in the way that he tries to teach him, who does that come from? His wife, Lao Fei, or Lafi, Lao Fei. I don't know. I could be saying it wrong the whole time, but you get the point that I'm trying to make here. So if Kratos, I know these are all fake characters, but if Kratos can get in the mindset of a woman and learn from a woman and be enamored by a woman and respect a woman, why can't you if you love the character so much? And this is the problem that I have with how a lot of nerds, what does that really mean? But how a lot of nerds engage with media, particularly video games, anime, manga, because they love these characters on the most surface level. It's almost the same way in which they choose to interact with women. The same way in which they interact with these characters that they love so much in these mediums, it's the same way in which they interact with women. Surface level. Is she hot? Is the character cool? Do they have big explosions and do they destroy stuff? While negating the narratives and the storylines behind the characters. Because once again, y'all made me have to spoil myself. You're like, she can't be doing all this, like God of Karen. I believe her and Kratos fought to a standstill. I believe that Kratos' axe that he uses in the game comes from her. It was originally her axe. I believe that Kratos refers to her several times as a great warrior. Also, she's a god. Normal rules of combat do not apply. I didn't see anyone complaining about Fugolion's sister in Black Clover, Sisgolion, putting the beats on people because it's a different world. The same rules of the human world do not apply. And even those rules do not apply in all circumstances, because I believe that a lot of you sweaty boys on the internet, a lot of you dirty boys can't even wash your own ass on the internet talking in this way would get y'all ass whipped by a lot of women. And I'm not just talking about the women that fight in the UFC. If you're someone that chooses to pay attention to people that make this kind of content, and you're a man that enjoys the company of women or wants to enjoy the company of women at some point in your life, you need to go far away. Because as someone that's been in many relationships, have a girlfriend that I have a home with right now, I have so much respect for my girlfriend, my sister, my aunts, my cousins, my mom. It's not hard for me to enjoy playing as a woman in a game, especially an action game, because I know a bunch of women who are badass. I've spoken to many women from just a friendship conversation level to understand how women think. And a lot of women, because it's not all across the board, have a similar mindset to a traditional man. I know so many women that are badass. So it's not some foreign mystical concept to me that a woman in a video game could be a badass. And I think that the real problem that a lot of you guys are having, because I watch so many of these same creators, because I do my little research, I see so many creators that are dogging on this game before it even comes out, that don't mind when the Tomb Raider game comes out. They don't mind when the next Bayonetta game comes out. They don't mind when one of these Japanese gacha games comes out, because the women are being objectified in those games, in the way that they're dressed, in the way that they speak, in the way that they act, even if it's an action game. So you only care now because it's a woman that looks like a woman that is a mother, that's had kids, that's battle worn, that's ready to fight, and she still looks good. Let's be clear, she still looks good. But she looks like she fits into this game. She looks like she's Kratos' wife. She looks like she lives in that Norse world where the game takes place in part. And now it's, I don't want a girl in my God of War game. What am I gonna do? You sound like a loser. Now, if you say, I don't want to play a God of War game that doesn't involve Kratos, I still think that that's kind of, whatever. I mean, I'm not telling you how to play the game, but we've been playing with Kratos. I think it looked like 8 games. Why not mix it up a little bit at this point? And it's still a part of Kratos' story, because this story is happening simultaneously with the first game, to my understanding so far. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rant on y'all. I didn't mean to ramble on y'all. I haven't even played any of the God of War games to their completion. I just think that this narrative around women-led video games, like having a woman as the main character in a video game, especially an action game, it tends to be where this discrepancy comes up a little bit. It's just so weird and so LARPy, especially when there's a narrative within the game itself, being God of War, that shows you that the main character in the mainline games can put himself in the mindset of a woman and respect a woman and heed a woman's advice and opinion. Athena in the original games, and now Lao Fei, his wife, and other women even within the game. But you can't take anything from that. You can't pull anything out from the surface level of the media that you consume to bring it to you in your real life. I know it's just a video game, but it's still a medium for storytelling. They're trying to get a point across. Mind you, behind the scenes and not really behind the scenes, a lot of women are behind these games, working on them, writing those male characters that you just love so much and you're so about. So you're still getting in the mind frame of a woman. It is still through a female gaze that you're interacting with a lot of this media and you don't even know it. But since you interact with your media on such a surface level, explosions, big buff man, if the girl's not sexy, I don't want to play it. That's where you stay, surface level. And I think that that carries over into a lot of other aspects of life, whether you think it does or not. Y'all don't know how to take care of yourselves. You don't know how to talk to women. You don't know how to respect women if they're not doing something for you. You have no social skills. You just sit online and complain all day. Or you watch somebody that sits online and complain all day when you don't even know how to properly wash your own ass or dress yourself or approach somebody, man, woman, romantic friendship, and start a conversation. You're not personable. But the amazing part about that is that you don't have to stay that way. You don't have to listen to that kind of rhetoric. You can just turn it off. You can go outside. You can choose to come out of your mind space and have empathy and say, well, maybe I could learn something from listening to women, whether in a video game, whether in real life. And I know this is all around one game, God of War, fictional characters and all that, but how much negative media I'm seeing around this game off of the sheer fact that it's a woman, not the graphics, not the gameplay, not the story, just off the main character being a woman. It's crazy. Go share these opinions with the women in your life. If you have some, go talk that way to your mom. Go talk that way to your sister. Go talk that way to your aunt. Go talk that way to your cousins and see what they think about what you're saying. Because it sounds crazy. It sounds like you don't actually pay attention to the storytelling of what you're consuming. It just sounds like you hate women, you know? But at the same time, I hear a lot of people saying they're lonely, dating sucks, they can't find a girl, all this kind of stuff. But then you turn around and listen to people that will hate on a game just because a woman is fighting in the game. And it's selective. I don't see people complaining about women in Street Fighter. I don't see people complaining about women in Mortal Kombat. I don't know, man. I was so excited about this game. It made me want to go play the other God of War games so I could be ready to play this one. And I met online trying to find excitement around this game, which I did find some of that too, but I was trying to find excitement around this game. And all I'm seeing in large part are a bunch of sweaty, smelly, look like they ain't never talked to a girl in their life dudes. Where there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you can build your social skills up. You can get to the point where you can be sociable and talk to women. Just because you're that way now doesn't mean you have to continue to be that way. And I'm not harping on people that haven't developed those skills. But at the same time, you're hating on women. So I really don't have sympathy for you when you have an opportunity to show that you like women and you cool with women and stuff like that, even if it's through like a small lens of a video game with your platform, and you choose to hate. That's crazy. But remember, y'all, somebody got to be great today, and it might as well be you, and have a nice day.